It's Free for All Friday on Super Talk 1270.
And welcome to the April 2016 edition of Free for All Fridays with the Bismarck Downtowners on Super Talk 1270 AM. I am Dawn Kopp, the Executive Director of the Downtowners Association in Bismarck, and I am very happy to say that once again I am joined with Kate Herzog, our Assistant and Marketing Director, and the ever so wonderful Jim Walsh on our boards. Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. What a week this has been.
Yeah, I'm glad it's Friday and that we got some rain last night.
Absolutely. I did not know it thundered or lightning, and Kate filled me in, so
yeah.
Hooray. All right. Well, we have a great show coming up. We have a couple of guests in the next two segments. Our first guest that will join us next segment is Darcy Mulsom. She is the owner of Stella's in downtown Bismarck, which is a brand new boutique that is on Main Avenue. And Carly Lenahan, she is the owner of Lullaby, which is also a new boutique in downtown Bismarck. We'll talk to them about opening their shops and what their plans are for the future.
Yeah, two new boutiques slam bam right in a row there. That was really nice for downtown.
Yeah, and some really highly visible areas too. So it's a great addition to downtown.
Yeah, we've got a number of upcoming events, but if you want to talk to us, if you have questions, you want to chat with the Downtowners throughout the show, the number is
663-1270.
Yay!
All right. Well, besides our call-in guests, we would like to talk about all the stuff happening in the community coming up here. And we have quite a number of things. Today, April 15th, the BSC Choir and Choral Ensembles concert will be held at the National Energy Center of Excellence. That is on the BSD campus overlooking the mighty Missouri River.
Yeah, also this weekend, and I think Jim's going to be there and a few of us, now that it's rained and the dirt is wet, you can probably start digging in a little bit. The Dakota Garden Expo at the Bismarck Event Center will be today and tomorrow, April 15th and 16th. They have a lot going on. Seminars. I went last year. I got like free seed packets, and you can get a whole bunch of stuff. Outdoor furniture, and they have people from the greenhouses and stuff like that. So if you have questions or you want to get some landscaping ideas and things like that, it's really nice because it's spring now and everyone's just waiting to get their hands in the dirt. So a fun event, Dakota Garden Expo. Check it out Friday, Saturday. Done.
Perfect timing.
You're going to get some seeds.
I just love the dirt. I love getting my hands dirty. I love how it smells. See little bugs.
You smell dirt.
Smells
great.
Also this weekend, today and tomorrow, at the Bismarck Event Center is the Monster Truck Destruction Tour. So have a little bit of fun at the Garden Expo. Head on over to watch some giant monster trucks in action.
If you have little kids or you're young at heart and you like to see huge trucks crush things, there's something for everyone downtown.
Someone said to me that they saw monster trucks just driving around downtown and around town. I thought, oh, well, that's
They can fit? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go.
How fun.
So a couple things going on at the event center today and tomorrow. Also at the Bell Mayhews, the Bismarck Band and Symphony is continuing their fire theme with their concert, which is tomorrow night at the Bell Mayhews Auditorium. I believe it starts 7:30 generally, but I think this is one of their last ones of this season. Obviously, They start the new season in, I think, September generally, and they do some stuff throughout the summer. But this is kind of towards the end of their fire series for their season right now, so check it out. The Bismarck Band and Symphony Orchestra tomorrow night, April 16th at the Bill Mayhews Auditorium.
Next Wednesday, April 20th, 1603 Main Events right on Main Avenue in downtown Bismarck will be hosting their April Wine Club event, and they will feature Prairie Rose Meadery. For any of you wondering what mead is, it is a honey wine, a honey-based wine. It is quite different than other grape-based wines.
We have a member, Bear Paw Wines.
Apple Creek Winery.
Apple Creek Bear Paw Wine is the
type of
bottle.
The name of the wine.
Out by Minokin. And yeah, if you've never had mead before, this would be interesting, wine club to taste mead. Yeah. Mead is, in my mind, is boozier. It's almost like a spirit in some way and not as much of a wine. So prepare yourself for it to be put a little hair on your chest sometimes, I think.
You can learn about the wine. You can learn about pairings of the wine at 1603. So check it out, April 20th, 1603 Main Events.
Yeah, also, food-based, April 21st, Fireflower Pizza and Coffee Bar is going to do a beer dinner with Indeed Brewery. They've done a few of these dinners where they pair up with a brewery and pair some beers with some either pizzas that they have or some different things that they don't have on the regular menu. They did a couple with, I can't remember the brewery, but they've done a few in the past.
Right,
It's really fun.
And I know they've done something with Laughing Sun as well.
Yeah, so check it out. It's their beer dinner April 21st at Fireflower Pizza, and the brewery that they're going to be working with and pairing with is called Indeed Brewery.
Indeed Brewery is in Minneapolis. April 26th, the very next day, again at the Bismarck. Oh,
22nd.
I'm sorry, not the 26th, the 22nd, at the Bismarck Event Center is the Brantley Gilbert concert featuring Kanan Smith and Michael Ray. So check out the Bismarck Event Center website if you would like tickets, and go for fun, have some dinner downtown, maybe taking a drink, and then head on over to the concert afterwards.
Yeah, also something fun to do. Dakota Stage does a flashback films every once in a while. They are showing Grease. What was the one they did for Halloween? Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Oh my God, everybody's
I love that
asleep
movie
here
on top
today.
of it all. So
Rocky Horror Picture Show, but in that vein, they're going to be doing Grease April 22nd, Dakota Stage. Get your tickets online. I think it's about like $10 or $15 or even less.
Yeah,
It's cheaper
$8 or
than that.
$10, I think.
And they have concessions stuff. It's a ton of fun.
It
They might
is.
let you sing along. I'm not sure.
I bet they will. You could do some hand jives.
Yeah.
April 28th, again at 1603 Main Events, there's the live auction presented by North Dakota Museum of Art. This is a great fundraiser for the North Dakota Museum of Art, which will be held at 1603 Main Events. Check it out.
Also, just to plug some of our own events coming up, we're going to do on May 3rd, which is a Tuesday at Dakota Stage, our State of the Downtown event. We'll talk about more about that in the last segment. Just want you to put it on your calendar. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to get you all the latest of what's happening in downtown Bismarck with some big projects going on. So that's what's happening in downtown Bismarck for the next couple of weeks. Join in, do something fun. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Super Talk, 1270 a.m.
Right now, 59.
Dave Ramsey is heard here. Super Talk 1270.
And thanks for sticking with us on Free for All Fridays with the Bismarck Downtowners on Super Talk 1270 AM. If you have any questions coming up with our call-in guests, give us a call at the studio, 663-1270. Right now, we'd like to welcome Darcy Malsom. She is the owner of Stella's Boutique on Main in Bismarck. Right on Main, right across the street from J&R Vacuum. Hi, Darcy. How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys today?
Great. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, Stella's opened at the beginning of May.
We did a soft opening in the beginning of March,
March.
and then we did our full grand opening April 1st. But we just wanted that month to kind of work out some of the kinks and the computer stuff and make sure it was all good.
Exactly.
So about a month now.
Okay. So tell everybody about the concept behind Stella's Boutique.
We started out doing jewelry and repurposing different pieces into different items of jewelry like keys and license plates and different things. And then it kind of grew from there. We started reusing other product and metal and suitcases and making lights out of funky things to try and repurpose and reuse things that, our grandparents had or our parents had, and we just want to incorporate something newer, more modern for our house. So it kind of just took on its own life and grew from there. We have a lot of different repurposed items.
What made you make the jump to open a storefront? Because that's always it's always a big discussion. You've obviously, you guys did some fairs, or you're well acquainted with, that kind of circuit. What made you just pull the trigger and say we were going to have a storefront for Stella's?
We got asked a lot if we were going to, where our store was or where it was located, where they could get more. Do we sell online? And just online wasn't necessarily the vibe we were looking for. We wanted to keep it local, service the people that in our community, the people that we got to know, our customers. That's who we wanted to focus on. And it just happened to be a good point in my personal life where my husband graduated from school and he had his first job, and we just wanted to move our family closer to where we grew up and back to where we wanted to raise our son in the environment we grew up in. So it just actually all came together where I could open it, and it was just a good time in our life to expand.
And so, like I had mentioned, you guys were right on Main Avenue, kind of basically on the corner of 3rd and Main. And so, were you looking for quite a while for a space, or did this one pop up and you said, that's the one?
We kind of started looking. My mom and dad still live here in our family, so we came back quite often. And I had my mom, like, kind of keep an eye out, and we started looking, and she saw this one come up, and she was, I think this would be the one. And I said, well, we'll look, because it was a payday loan place before, and it was kind of bare bones. It wasn't very appealing when you looked inside. But
What?
I know, right? All those fake walls and carpet and ugly ceiling, but you could just see like there was a lot of potential, and who doesn't want to be right on Main Street?
Right.
It was nice because it's easy access. There's still a lot of parking in front of our store. You don't necessarily have to park in the parking ramp. You can still get front parking, where some parts of downtown are, a lot harder to get a good parking spot. And so when we looked, and we love the vintage sign, and if, we keep it, it's grandfathered in, and that kind of just totally fit our vibe, being able to reuse a sign that was already there and had that unique look. And you just walked in, and it was like, that was it. We just knew it was meant to be the right spot for us, so
we
got lucky.
We're talking with Darcy. She's from Stella's, which is a new boutique on Main Avenue in Bismarck, like Don said, just on the west side of 3rd Street on Main Avenue in the old, is kind of by where Warren's Locks and Keys was, trying to explain it by using some kind of, key or location, right across from J&R Vacuum and Sewing, as Don mentioned.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about that part of downtown Bismarck, and we've talked about this a lot, but the west part of downtown is really kind of the up-and-coming portion of downtown. You feel like you're in the place where some things are really going to start to happen?
I think so. There was people yesterday looking from Fargo, actually, looking at the storefront right next to us. So hopefully they'll have something in the works, and then there'll still be one place in between us and them, to rent. They just want half of the spot next to us where Warren used to be. So
nice.
Hopefully if they move in there, that'll kind of maybe bring some more interest to the spot next to us. And I heard there's some things in the works for Rhythm Records and redoing their storefront. And so I think that we are in a good spot.
You are.
Are lucky to have storefront where you can still park fairly easy and easy access too. So I think, down the road, I think that'll change probably as it gets more popular. But yeah, I think we're in a great location for more things to happen.
And I think that it always takes those, we talk about this again a lot in our office, how it takes one or two really brave individuals to see what the potential is and just to hop on board. And then when others see that it can be done, then they're more likely to make their dream or what have you a kind of a reality. So congratulations, well done.
So
thanks.
Darcy, if try to explain your store to people, the items that you sell, the best sellers, maybe some upcoming trends. I went in there and you can get everything from like an old kind of vintage suitcase to like a tuba that's been made into a lamp. So for people who've never been in there, how would you describe some of the things that you have, what your good sellers are, things that you think are upcoming that you'll be carrying that'll be good sellers for you?
Yeah, I think it's pretty eclectic. It's got anything from something really new, the tufted chair, to the leather chair, to the really old, cameras from the 1900s made into a lamp, and globes, and I like the school kind of thing, so we tend to gravitate towards lockers and flashcards and globes. The things that we've been selling a lot of is actually just old metal pieces that can be used as centerpieces on your table, or gears that you can set some candles on, or corbels that, are made into shelves, or, we've had some of those really good pieces that just, no matter what we put in, kind of goes. Rusty is better, which my grandpa laughs all the time. He's like, I thought that was so rusty. Who would ever want it? I just don't understand it.
It's a super
cool always boutique. Tell them, well, anything you think wouldn't sell that's too rusty, bring to me and I'll sell it for you.
It is really fantastic because you had taken, or one of the things that really caught my eye was the old film projector, or the projector screen that that an artist painted on. And I thought,
we sold the big floral one, and we've got another one with a little boy in a raincoat that actually was a photograph of my son that an artist did. We've done a big towel, the multicolors where it kind of looks like it's dripping paint. We've had those at some of our shows that sold really good. So I'm actually doing the wine and art night at CU Art School for the Miniature Horse Rescue.
Oh,
We're doing a
nice.
painting. So I'm hoping maybe I can get back into some of my painting skills. And we've got a couple more projector screens to do something unique with.
Where, Darcy, at Stella's, obviously you have a lot of things. You go and sort of curate your boutique or your store. Where do you find these things? I mean, what's the process of, buying old lockers and stuff like that? I mean, it just seems, super interesting.
A lot of work sometimes. Yeah, we have a few pickers in town that are really good for us and have been really helpful. When I lived in Minnesota, there's a lot of auctions that I could go to there. So now that we're selling our house and moving, that might be an interesting dilemma for us. Hopefully, we still have a storage unit full of stuff, but yeah, we try and do the auctions. We've actually made a lot of great contacts just being open with people that come in and say, hey, I love to go junking and I like to find stuff, but I don't know what to do with it. Would you be interested in it? Can I look for you? What would you buy from me? Kind of. So we actually met a lot of great people that way in the community that want to go out there and love junking but don't know what to do with it afterwards. So they might be a really great source for us, I think.
I did see on Stella's, maybe it must have been your Facebook page, that you had organized and cleaned out your storage unit.
I like the caveat that basically, or the comment that it looks better to you guys. I like that.
Yeah,
because
I don't think people could tell that we organized it, but we spent a whole day in there. And it's funny because we rented a storage unit for my personal use as we moved back our stuff from Minnesota. We were going to put some of it in there so that, the bigger things that we don't need kind of help clean out our garage back home. And all of a sudden it was full of Stella stuff. So I'm like, can't bring any stuff from our actual house. That storage unit's been confiscated for us. So yeah, we decided to get in there and try and organize it so we can find some of the things that, we know we have, or people ask us for letters, and I'm like, I know we have them, but I don't know what they are or where they're at. But
right.
So hopefully we're a little more organized, and even if it's not in the store, we might have it. We can head down to the storage unit quickly enough to be able to find it now.
Why did you name the boutique Stella's?
We named it after my grandma. We started doing Stella Stories jewelry when she was alive, and because she would tell us a story about all the unique things that we come across or old history behind things. She just loved history. She was a school teacher, so she always knew how things worked or what they did. And so I just loved when we'd work on jewelry, she'd tell us stories about different things and how it came about that was the way it was, or how trends happened back in the day. And so we started with Stella Stories, but we didn't want people to think we're a used bookstore or some, misconstrue our name to be something it wasn't. So we thought, in honor of her, we'll just shorten it to Stella's, because it's kind of all the things that she loved,
And where can everybody find you? Do you have, obviously, you have a Facebook page, you have a website? Where can we could direct everybody to?
Yep, we have a website. It's stellasnd.com, kind of work in progress always. And then we have a Facebook page of Stella's. We do also Instagram. It's stellasnd on Instagram. And I'm not doing Twitter. I don't really know the in and out of that yet, but we got those things going. And otherwise, we are always located on 3rd and Main. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, so
great.
Pop on in.
Well, thanks so much, Darcy. She is the owner of Stella's. It's a new boutique on Main in Bismarck, the 200 block of Main Avenue. If you like American Pickers, you like upcycling things, this is a great boutique for you to check out. They will also be on the Art and Wine Walk coming up June 16th in downtown Bismarck. Find them online or on Facebook. Thanks so much, Darcy. We're going to take
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Super Talk 1270 AM.
Right now, 59.
On Twitter, Facebook, online, and YouTube. SuperTalk1270.com.
And we're back on Free For All Fridays on Super Talk 1270. We are the Bismarck Downtowners. We want to give a great big thank you to Darcy Malsum, owner of Stella's right on Main Avenue in downtown Bismarck. She was our guest in the previous segment, so thank you so much, Darcy, for joining us. Up next, we have another guest, Carly Lenahan. She is the owner of a brand new boutique also in downtown Bismarck called Lullaby. Welcome, Carly.
Hi, thanks for having me. How are you guys doing today?
We're very good. How are you?
Good. I'm excited. It's Friday.
I know. And so Fridays must be one of your busier days at Lullaby.
Yeah, Fridays and Saturdays are definitely the time to be downtown. Everyone's walking around, especially now that it's getting nice out. A lot of people are starting to get summer hours where they get done early on
Sure.
Fridays, so they'll come have lunch and hang around downtown.
Yeah. So, like I said, you are the owner of brand new Lullaby. You opened a couple weeks ago, right in the beginning of April, correct?
Yes.
So, first, tell everybody what Lullaby is and where you're located.
Lullaby is a women's clothing store, so a little boutique on the corner of 3rd and Broadway. So our address is actually 301 East Broadway, so we're located right next to Modernize. And I just have clothing and accessories, some shoes and purses and all that fun stuff for women on a more casual wear. So if you're looking for something to wear day to day, I have it.
Sure. We talked a little bit about, what your background is and maybe why you wanted to open the store. Kind of give people the elevator speech about, what you went to school for and what made you want to open a boutique in downtown Bismarck.
Yeah, definitely. It all started when I was probably about 14 years old. I took a sewing class, and I told my parents I wanted to open a clothing store, and I first wanted to have my own designs in it. Well, that kind of went out the window when I kind of went more the business aspect of it. But so with that, I decided to go to NDSU and get a degree in retail merchandising and then a minor in business. I also have a degree in Spanish, so I don't really know where that ties into the whole
It's still
owning a business. But I went to Fargo and learned the ins and outs of opening a clothing store and what are all the different job types you can do in the fashion industry. And then I actually took a internship and went out to New York City for about 3 months. Was out there, kind of worked in a showroom, and so I saw that aspect being the middleman between the buyer and the designer, and worked closely with those guys. But I decided I kind of wanted to be more the buyer and do my own thing, and liked being my own boss. So I decided, hey, let's open a store, and everything kind of fell into my lap. And like the location and everything was the hardest part to find, but that was just a whirlwind. And then all of a sudden it came perfect timing, and I went all for it, all or nothing.
It's super strange, but in our earlier segment, we were talking with Stella's, which is a new boutique in downtown as well, and you both moved into former payday loans places.
Yes, and definitely, if anyone has not been to Stella's, go check it out. It is very cool.
So,
very cool little shop.
What did the space look like? Obviously, we talked with Darcy from Stella's about what her space looked like, but obviously it didn't look like a boutique when you walked in. I mean, what did you see, and what did you think you'd be able to do with the space?
My parents actually found the space for me, and they ran into the owner of the building in the post office, and so that was kind of just randomly. They asked, do you have any spots? And he said, well, actually, Payday Loans wants out of their lease, so I actually took over their lease. Didn't even see the building before I signed the lease. I was actually at work, and my dad signed the lease for me. They were taking it, and I walked in after work, and he goes, is this going to work? And I go, yeah, we can make anything work.
It sure will. Will now.
So talk
yeah,
about
definitely. Now that the lease is signed and I'm in,
you have to make it work.
I gotta work with it. But the ceilings were a lot of older buildings. They'd have the drop ceiling.
Right.
Well, this one had we took the ceiling out to kind of open it up, but
Yes.
there was 2 different drop ceilings, and you could see the lines of where they were. But the ceiling was super low, and there was kind of a wall dividing the front and the back. And where I'm at, it's not a huge space. It's perfect size for me. But the wall dividing it was a stationary wall that still had carpet on it. It was nothing fancy. The carpet on the wall was a little stained yellow, so that kind of you knew it had to come down.
a diamond in the rough. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about, the look of the store now at Lullaby, which is on 3rd and Broadway, the look is kind of industrial
Right.
a little bit. You have like pipe fittings that you're using for things. Talk
racks
about
and-
maybe kind of the look of the interior of the boutique.
Yeah, so kind of the look I've always wanted. When I envisioned my store, I wanted it all industrial. I wanted the pipe fixtures. I wanted the cages around all the lights, and and what I kind of went into play as, and then it kind of goes in and out. You know, you can't really decide until you're in a space and deciding, okay, well, what will look good in that space. But I do have my pipe fixtures that I wanted. I found some cages that go, I just have single light bulbs with a cage over it for all my light fixtures. And then I kind of added a little rustic in there too, where I made my front counter out of pallets. I found a guy on Facebook, TJ Sowers, and he created my front counter for me. And just kind of went from there. I have the wood floor and kind of a rustic industrial look.
It's a very cool space.
It is, and because you kind of minimize the color scheme for your fixtures and such, so you can really work with that. But what would you say sets you apart from other boutiques in town, or if you specialize in anything in particular?
Maybe big items that you see coming up that you're going to be selling this spring and summer.
The biggest thing, like kind of what I would say makes me different from the other boutiques is you see a lot of my style in my store.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like anything fitted. I would prefer to go with anything, a looser cut. I don't like things hugging my body in any which way, so that's kind of more my style, and that's what I brought to the store. I still like the fashion-forward pieces, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be more of a looser fit. It's going to be more Missy sizes.
Okay.
I do not do any junior sizes.
But
I would say my biggest thing that I see coming in fringe is staying for a while. We'll see that again in the fall. The spring, summer, fall, we'll see the fringe. But right now for spring, summer, I would say dresses. I am very big on dresses because you can dress it up, you can dress it down. It's one piece instead of two pieces that you have to match. You can throw a jean jacket with it. So anything, denim is big, and dresses.
Yay.
It's very versatile, right?
Yes, exactly.
We're talking with Carla. She is the owner of Lula Bee, a new boutique in downtown Bismarck on 3rd and Broadway. Just kind of talking a little bit about her new space. They just had their grand opening. Carly, you guys just had your grand opening
last weekend, or
the
8th and 9th,
right?
Yep, the 8th and 9th was when I I believe that was last weekend.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Well, the time is moving fast.
Time's
so
flying,
much
but
happens in a week.
Was Friday, Saturday, last weekend I did.
Wow.
So check them out. Carly, tell us a little bit about where people can find you online and how you want people to interact with you, websites, social media, your hours, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, right now I do have a Facebook page up and running. It's Lula Bee Bismarck on Facebook, and then my hours, and that's my only thing online, my presence online.
Okay.
And then my hours are Wednesday through Saturday. So Wednesdays and Fridays I'm open 10 to 6. Thursdays I'm open a little bit later, 10 to 7, and then Saturdays 10 to 4.
And you're going to be on the Art and Wine Walk this summer, I hear.
Yes, I am. I'm very excited for it. So everyone will have to come and walk around, have some wine, do a little shopping, see all the artists' work, and it'll be fun.
It will be. It's very nice to have you on the Downtowners Art and Wine Walk. This is our 5th year, so we're excited to have you. And it's such a great space for you right there on the corner of 3rd and Broadway. Yeah,
I'm excited to be here, and the downtown community has just been awesome.
Yay.
I wouldn't trade it. They've been so welcoming.
Good. I mean, that's really nice to hear. You know, we're talking with Stella's and yourself, and there's always new businesses that come downtown, and you know, generally we see more camaraderie than we do competition. People sending each other to each other's places. Is that kind of what you've seen so far with the first few weeks that you've been open?
Yeah, definitely. It's everyone kind of works as one. It's rather let's get people to the area than push them away. If I don't have someone buying with me, most likely stores or restaurants down the street don't have anyone there either. So my whole idea is let's work together and make the community stronger.
And just so everybody knows, Lula Bee is on 3rd and Broadway. There is a parking ramp just right behind you, like a half a block, right?
Yep, right next to Modernize is the parking ramp, and you can walk out and walk into Modernize and then come see me.
That sounds perfect.
Just for everybody who maybe doesn't, have you been on the Art and Wine Walk before, Carly?
No, I have not, but I've heard awesome things about it.
So if you're interested in seeing Stella's, you're interested in seeing Lula Bee and maybe some of these new places, the Art and Wine Walk is going to be June 16th, and what Carly alluded to a little bit is we go We have about 23 stores, and you go from place to place, sample a wine, do some shopping. Like Carly said, check it out, send people to other people's places. We have a wine and featured wine there, an artist there. It's a ton of fun over one evening, and you can get in and out of these shops that maybe you haven't heard of that are new to downtown, like Lullaby.
And you can kind of just loiter there, if you will, for a little
That's
bit
right.
while you shop. You don't have to go very quickly. It's just gauged at your own pace. You have 5 hours to complete the Art and Wine Walk, which gives you quite a bit of time to make it through the different locations.
So don't wait until June 16th to check out Lullaby or Stella's, but they will be on the Art and Wine Walk. Lullaby, Carly, thanks so much for joining us. You can find her
thanks for having me.
Yeah, you can find her on Facebook, or again, she's at 3rd and Broadway. Brand new boutique, Lullaby. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on Super Talk 1270 AM.
Right now, 61 degrees.
The Red River Farm Network. Ag News is here on Super Talk 1270.
And welcome back to Free For All Fridays with the Bismarck Downtowners. Thank you so much for sticking with us through this show. We are on our last leg, but first off, we want to thank once again Darcy Malsom, the owner of Stella's on Main in Bismarck, on Main Avenue in Bismarck. And also we want to say thank you to Carly Lenahan. She is the owner of a new boutique also in downtown Bismarck called Lullaby. It's on the corner of 3rd and Broadway. So thank you, ladies, so much for joining us today. It was great to learn about your new shops.
It's been really interesting to see some new boutiques open up so close, in time to each other.
Right.
We have a great selection of boutiques downtown, and we had kind of a set selection for a little bit, and now we've got a couple of new ones, so something to check out.
They're all always a little bit different, and just speaking of Stella's, she does some really great things with different lighting, and just some things are so different.
Yeah, like repurposed things.
Yeah. And very usable. It's not just something you'd buy to sit decorate. No, it's very usable, functional, upcycled, repurposed goods. It's very interesting, and we're very excited to see Carly have her own shop in downtown Bismarck now. I think has some really great things planned, and what a great new use for that space as well. The windows are fantastic and beautiful. It's right on a corner, so it's fantastic to see these new boutiques open.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good for all of them. Like Carly had mentioned in the last segment, all the boutiques send each other to each other's places, which is really nice to see. It's more about creating a destination than sort of a competition for the most part. And so, and generally, we saw it with the restaurants in downtown. As there were more restaurants, there were more people for more restaurants. So it wasn't really splitting the market. It was growing the market. So I think that's what we're seeing with boutiques.
And speaking of new restaurants in downtown, we have one opening right at the beginning of May so far. Their grand opening is slated for Cinco de Mayo for Los Lunas, which, again, this is a fantastic opening because it is in the very west side of downtown Bismarck. So we're really seeing some movement happening and migrating west. It's very exciting to see for us.
Yeah, I try and tell people it's a new Mexican restaurant, and I'm not saying it is new. Right. But it's not a Mexican restaurant. It's a New Mexican restaurant, like the state New Mexico,
like
Arizona.
More Southwest flair.
Right.
Yeah.
So a little different from what we've seen so far. They're going to be, if you're, where One Source Lighting is or 106 Antiques, they're kind of sandwiched right in between there. It's a little building that we've tried very hard to get somebody into, and this is just going to be fantastic. I've not been to the restaurant before. They had some stuff up in Gateway Mall as they were looking for another location. And New Mexican cuisine is very different from Mexican cuisine in some ways. Chili's.
So like Tex-Mex?
Not necessarily. I don't think it's quite Tex-Mex, but New Mexico.
It's like chilies.
Fair.
Everything is about green chilies in New Mexico. You go and you get something and they say green or red. They don't even tell you what, and you get green sauce or red. I'm not sure what their menu is going to look like, but I've been to New Mexico once. I've eaten there once. They're also one of those weird places that says Coke for the generic word of a beverage. Would you like a Coke? Yeah. What kind? Sprite or something, So it's like, where did that come from? But I suppose they make fun of us because we say pop. But it'll be really interesting. And like Don said, part of the shows we've been talking about is moving what people think of downtown a little more to the west, because downtown really does go to Washington, and that's a very walkable area of downtown as well, and there's some potential there, some potential in buildings. So we're seeing it with Los Lunas, we're seeing it with Stella's, and I think we're going to see a few other things happen. Sadly, Eggers Audio Video, Ralph Eggers is retiring.
34 years in business, and he said, I'm going to a beach, maybe.
Yeah, he's going to retire, so good for him. I don't know what's going to be happening with that building, but another opportunity for West Downtown to, continue to flourish, and maybe have some things that create some traffic, like a retail store and restaurants and things like that. So good luck, Rolf. Thanks for 34 years. At Eggers Audio Video. That's, I think my brother bought like a tape deck there for his car once. That's how long he's been there. So
Eggers will be missed in this community. I remember going in there once looking for some kind of stereo equipment and just sitting on this gigantic leather couch, and that was, I'm not all that old, but I'm not all that young, I guess. And so really high quality surround sound was fairly new at the time. And it was impressive just sitting in this room and hearing it all around.
Those Pacific Sound and Eggers Audio really were the, some of the big dogs in bringing in that kind of home theater and things into your vehicles and stuff. So good luck, Rolf. We wish you all the best. Happy retirement. We have a few new members that we want to welcome to the Downtowners Association. Agency Mabu became a member not too long ago. They do web design, marketing, social media management, a whole bunch of things like that. So want to welcome Agency Mabu to the Downtowners Association.
And we're also very excited to say that our guests today, Lula B and Stella's, have also become members. So welcome to all of our new members, and we're excited to have you on board.
Just wanted to give people a heads up that we will be hosting our first ever State of the Downtown event. The president won't be there, but the president of the Downtowners Association will be there. But essentially what we'd like to do is want to get everybody on the same page about downtown a little bit and the projects that are coming up, things like that. So, for instance, here's just a for instance, Main Avenue road diet in our downtown master plan has us going from 4 lanes to 3. I have heard every number of lanes mentioned back to me. 6 lanes, 5 lanes, 2 lanes, no parking. So there's, people are a little confused. There's so many projects happening downtown, so we want to get that information out to you. It's going to be May 3rd at Dakota Stage. It is free for members of the Downtowners Association, $15 for non-members. Starts at 8 a.m. We'll have coffee and treats, but we're just going to go an hour and a half. We're going to talk with the developers for 5 South, and they can get you all that information. We're going to talk with the owner of the depot and get a little bit more information on the progress of the depot public space initiative. We're going to talk with the Downtowners a little bit and give away a couple awards and get a progress report from us. And then the city of Bismarck is going to give an economic snapshot of the things that are happening in downtown Bismarck. We have some great graphs and charts about how much tax downtown produces. It's just a great little engine of money and entrepreneurism in the Bismarck community. So the State of the Downtown is going to be May 3rd. You'll hear from those 4 groups, and we'll talk about a number of projects that are happening in downtown. So Main Avenue is 4 lanes to 3 lanes, not 6, not 2. The parking's not going to change.
And yes, and to just go a little bit further, there will be an eastbound lane, a westbound lane, and a center left turn lane, very similar to what you see in Washington right now. It moves traffic very, very well, and it will hopefully alleviate people getting stuck behind left turn traffic.
And then you'll have those 2 parking lanes as you do right now. So
you'll still
now
be parallel.
It's 4 lanes with 2 parking lanes. It's going to go to 3 lanes with 2 parking lanes. That's the jam. But essentially, we want to get everybody on the same page. It's going to be a fun event for us. We've been talking about some issues with downtown and projects and things like that. One of the issues we've been talking about the last month or so is a renewal of our Renaissance Zone program, and so we'll touch on that a little bit at the State of the Downtown. I think people just maybe get a little confused with how the programs work and what they do. So I think we're going to touch on that, and we're going to show how much they're able to produce in the Bismarck area and the downtown area, and really give us a good rate on return for those programs. So if you're interested, if you have questions, it's a great event to check out, the State of the Downtown. May 3rd at Dakota Stage.
Or if you are just a charts and graphs nerd like me.
I have a great chart that shows how much taxable value downtown produces per acre, and it's colored. It's going to be sweet, but it's really fun. We've got so many things happening downtown. It's understandable that people are a little confused about what's that project, what's this project. So we want to get you all that information, all that correct information, so that you've got it and you don't think Main Avenue is going to 8 lanes, 12, 13, 14 lanes.
And we work with such a great group of people, and by group I mean masses of people. So it will be fun, it will be entertaining, it will be educational, and everything all wrapped up into one at the State of the Downtown address on May 3rd.
Yeah, so get your tickets. You can get tickets. Just go to downtownbismarck.com. We've got it on our events, and then it'll shoot you over to Eventbrite to get a ticket. If you're not sure if you work for a member of the Downtowners Association, similar to the Chamber of Commerce, you can go to our website as well and hit the member directory. We have a lot of the bigger employers in town, so most likely you might be a member of the Downtowners and not even know it. We've had a great show. I want to thank Jim Walsh for working our board so well today, Don Kopp, obviously from the Downtowners Association. If you want any more information, you can find us at downtownbismarck.com, Facebook at facebook.com/downtownbismarck, or Twitter at downtownbisnd. For Don Kopp, Jim Walsh, I'm Kate Herzog with the Downtowners. We'll see you next month on Super Talk 1270 AM.